In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to a show called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
Chris is my name!
Hey!
And we're back.
Again, we're back again.
We keep saying that as though it may be a time that we're not back.
It does feel, I'm not going to lie, it does feel a little touch and go on a weekly basis.
It's literally less than a week since we last did this.
We're doing well. I shouldn't say that.
No,
I
yes,
say
yes,
that.
it is.
Last
yes.
Friday.
Could not say
Six
that.
days.
6 days. That's less than a week.
That's pretty good. It's almost regular.
Semi-regular.
Well, one time does not make a rule.
One
They
pop
a
does
they
phrase.
do say
That's a phrase.
That is a phrase. One pop does not a lock make. Yeah, it's very
One
wise.
pod.
It's kind of depressing to think that even if we keep this up and we do a show every week,
For the rest of our lives.
I was going to say for the rest of a year.
Okay, cool.
We're only going to be on like episode was it 66 or something like that?
Are we going to have a big party when we get to 100 episodes?
Yes.
If our grandchildren can band enough money together to throw it, then yes, we will have a party.
To reanimate our corpses.
I don't know about you guys. I mean, you guys have just eaten like your own body weight in fish and chips, but I'm the one feeling kind of sluggish. I feel kind of like,
Well, we've just eaten, so we got that initial food boost. You had a pizza before I got here.
half
Yeah.
a pizza.
All right, well,
You're on the food hangover now, whereas we're still, when we're still at the beginning of the night when you first got drunk.
I'm at the start of the path, and you, my friend, have reached the end.
That's like the opening speech for Give It Weight Watchers?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, there is hope for all of you, but...
Except you, and maybe you.
I guess we should describe the format of this show before we throw
You
it
love format
entirely,
so much,
before
John.
we throw it entirely out the window to say the special things we've done tonight for this one-off.
It's still on format. It is just
It's
very
kind of on
different.
format. Okay, the way this show normally works is that we we each bring a hate and a love to the table, and we all take it in turns to describe said hate or love, and then as a group we pass judgment and decide whether it is worthy of that emotion. I feel like I'm explaining this to you, but I know you know this. So
No, it's good for you to
I
explain it to
had
me.
forgotten.
I'm talking to the people at home.
Oh.
And you can join in at home via our Facebook group. Just search for a show called Hate. You can send us your hates and loves, and we will pass ill-informed judgment on you and your hate or love. Or also you can get involved on Twitter. We have hashtags. Hashtag show called love and hashtag show called hate.
I think we're the only ones who use those hashtags.
Do we actually search this hashtag?
Oh no, we actually haven't. No, I never do.
No.
Maybe we should
If
do
they
that.
comment, if they do a tweet reply, then fine, we see those. But have we actually searched the hashtag?
I haven't, not for a week or so.
Okay, cool.
But,
That's fine.
But that's now in the hands of our community manager.
Yes.
I could confirm I've never
Social
looked
media
at what the
operative.
hashtag says.
Well, the thing is, we have a schedule now. It's like every Thursday we're recording, every Tuesday I'm publishing. So,
Oh, is that
You,
right?
you seem to be repeating this quite a lot, John, as if you're trying to ingrain it in our minds.
The more he says it, the more it will become true.
It's not
Yeah.
a cry. Listen
It's
to,
like cosmic ordering.
listen to the way I'm saying it. Listen to what I'm saying, not the manner in which I'm saying it, or the slightly pained look in my eye as I describe.
You're just going to drop Thursday in at random intervals during
Thursday.
So anyway, and then I went to Thursday, and then I said to the other guy about Tuesday, and
Well, ignoring your glib commentary, I'm gonna carry an object over to the microphone now.
make a rustling sound.
Oh, is it a crinkler?
He's here tonight. It's Professor Snufflechops. Listeners to last week's episode would have remembered, or hopefully remember, that we were discussing tat and buying.
I love how it spun out of your love, which was getting your life in order.
That is true. Yeah, I said I loved getting. I love the sensation of getting your shit in order, and I also said that I'm far too. What's the word? Maybe not pragmatic.
Restrained?
Restrained, perhaps, and how I'd been in a Toys R Us. I'd looked at Transformers, felt like a little glimmer of childish joy again as I remembered my youth, and then I thought, no, I don't need a transformer.
And then since then, Chris and I have not shut up about that.
No.
Yeah, I feel like the chief instigator has been Rayman. Because
Definitely.
It's like you a dog with a bone, you just wouldn't let it go. And
You knew as soon as you said Transformers and toys that I would be on it.
No, I didn't.
Wow,
because
that's ridiculous.
when have you
You've
ever...
been to my house.
Yeah, and I don't see a single transformer.
Wow, no. Toys, though.
Thank you.
Models,
Yeah.
not toys. Models.
No, well, you're more kind of in the
Collectibles.
model kind of...
They're collectibles because they're more expensive.
Yeah, I mean...
It's not that they look better.
I mean, you do have a display cabinet and several pieces.
Expensive items.
Expensive.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
pieces.
good.
All,
Yeah.
all relating to
Pieces.
Star Wars.
Sounds like a
And-
museum.
And although you are very kindly passing on an Iron Man figurine or something like that. to
Yes,
me.
I
Yeah.
should have bought it round tonight, actually, but I forgot.
Well, you're
You're a monster.
Yeah.
No.
At least you finally picked up your trousers after the wedding.
I'm wearing them now.
Oh, that's
These are the
delightful.
trousers.
Have you washed them?
That's just a noise.
Thanks. Not an answer, Professor.
Sure.
Yes, shall we say yes? But no, you left your trousers here after the wedding.
Well, I left my trousers in the honeymoon suite.
Indeed, yes.
I was it there.
What a wedding. And yeah, was reunited with them a month later.
Yeah, we kept very good care of them.
Thank you.
But anyway, yes, the long and short of it is that we set ourselves a little task, a mission.
Well, based on
This
the back
week,
of
yeah.
forcing you to finally buy this transformer, it then grew into a whole new idea, which was yours, Chris, I believe.
Do you want to give us the...
I said, let's go on a toy run.
Wow!
Toy run!
And I was like, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I can do this.
We were both immediately on board.
Yeah, you didn't take much persuading, to be fair.
No, it
You
took
set a budget.
We set a budget of £20 per person. I think we've all gone over it.
I've hit it dead on.
No, I, despite being potentially the voice of reason, I went over.
You went over by the most.
I did, yeah, no.
In
So
your face, reason.
we've just got back from a little trip to the toy shop, and in the Transformers aisle, I found, I believe, the first Transformer I picked up.
You bought the first one you saw.
No. You know the first one I picked up. I was like, oh, look at that! It's Projector.
Yes, and I was like, the very fact you even know his name before you even read the packaging.
And you were like, what does he do? I said, he's the one who transformed into a microscope. And then you
we turned
probably,
over the box, and sure enough,
yeah, you probably thought I was joking, but no. I was very tempted by Perceptor, whatever I called him. It wasn't Projector, Perceptor.
yeah. Any Transformers fans listening will be
He
so
was
angry
the
at you.
Autobox scientist.
And how was he a scientist if he couldn't look in the
I was
microscope?
going to say he can't look into himself.
He can't look
He-
into
I think the assumption was he kind of could, like it was his eye.
Oh, really?
But anyone else could come up behind him and look, presumably into his anus, and see like
Presumably.
through his body and out the other side.
Yes.
And I was quite tempted by that.
Weird show, Transformers.
Weird.
Yeah, it was quite high concept. And then I looked across, and they had these slightly larger ones because they're doing like these. Hello.
Look at the big smile on his face.
He's over the moon.
Look how pleased he is.
Hello.
This was a good idea.
You're listening to the Transformers cast, the number one
Autocast.
That's much better, actually. Yeah.
Decepticast.
Basically-
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, that is pretty good, actually.
That was a Transformers reference.
That's-
Yes.
Score.
Okay, so basically now the state of play nowadays is that if you go into a toy shop and you go into the Transformers section, because as a kid that was like the most magical place in the world I could imagine, like going into Toys R Us and it's like, good God, look at all the Transformers. And I don't want to be the one who's like,
It's not how it used to be.
I know, I don't want to be the one who says like, oh, back in the day things were better, but
They were.
to some extent, and with Transformers at least, that was the case, because back in the day, the cartoon was nothing but a glorified commercial for the toys.
Yes, I know.
And as it happens, they somehow put a story in there which people came to love, and now there's this massive community around it. But of course, the original intent was, let's just make something that can sell toys. So, the toys kind of existed to begin with. They were adapted from like some Japanese... there were two... Unless I'm getting this... I'm sure somebody out there knows I'm getting this wrong, but I think Hasbro got the license for some Japanese toys you could buy.
I've heard this. Yeah.
And they came in two varieties. And some of these toys were robots that turned into vehicles. And some of the toys were robots that turned into like things you'd find on your desk.
Okay.
Like a
So the
microscope.
scale was completely different.
I understand.
Yes, so...
So the robots were different sizes.
Well, if you
In the
think...
story.
In their human
In the context of the
form.
objects they transform
Yeah.
into.
I understand.
So when Transformers was made, the cartoon, some of the Transformers could shrink
I see.
while transforming, like Metatron. No, not Metatron. Megatron. Sorry, could transform into
Oh,
a
to become
gun.
Have you ever seen this show?
I had a VHS of it as a kid.
Well, the only Transformers thing I've ever watched is the movie that was out in the 80s.
The animated movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
Optimus Prime dies.
Spoilers.
Oh, the spoilers.
Jesus.
Oh, the spoilers.
Still a bit raw,
Oh, he
though.
came back.
It's still a bit raw.
He's still
Came
around.
back in those Michael Bay movies.
Yeah, which
are
I've
canon.
never seen.
They're canon. They follow on from the animated movie, as far as I'm aware.
Well, I'm glad you.
What
brought
is
it.
Transformers canon? My God.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Michael Bay?
The Michael Bay movies, because now
There's almost like there's two branches of Transformers.
This is the thing, you see. If you go for the longest time, if you went into a toy shop, a Transformers toy was a movie tie-in, and they looked really bad.
Because they were trying to look like the piles of scrap metal that are in the movie.
Whereas the joy of the original models was there was art. There was, I maintain, a degree of artistry, and they were like,
Oh, definitely.
the designers were like, how can we take a car and mechanically make it realistically transform into a robot?
yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to begin to design that.
And that's one of the things I loved about them as a kid, because it's like I would just transform them back and forth, just like they were so
Like a puzzle almost.
Yeah, they're so amazing. You memorised all the things, but the things in those Michael Bay movies look like walking scrap heaps.
Yeah.
And you're like, that couldn't work as a toy.
And then they become an actual classic car
Yeah.
with no seams or lines anywhere. So it's like the magic of the two states of a Transformer is that it's kind of a crappy looking robot and a crappy looking car, obviously with that level of artistry
Yeah.
you're saying, but that it doesn't look like an actual car or look like an actual robot. It's got very much its own identity, whereas the Transformers movies turned it into a big hulking walking bit of metal and an actual car.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
There's no subtlety at all.
Because it may the original Transformer may have been like a humanoid robot with like a bonnet sticking out of the chest, but at least you knew.
That's cool.
But it's
though.
almost like they
That's
were
cool in
owning
its
it.
own way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were owning the fact that this is a robot that transforms from a car.
Yeah.
So if you can kind of sift through the kind of chuff, which is like the Michael Bay Transformer toys, which are really bad, they've started bringing out,
Such a snob.
essentially for overgrown children like myself, they've started bringing out like the Generations series of toys, which are the original models but made again in higher quality.
You're talking about this, John, like you've done some research.
I don't know, Rayman. I just kind of know things. So I'm holding my purchase is
Now, just a second, John. Just a second, because
John.
didn't we say that what we bought was going to be our love?
yes.
Let's do
for the
this bit
episode.
first, and then we'll do hates
Oh,
after.
I'm sorry,
We're changing the
yeah.
format.
Well, no, I'm just asking. We can change the
That's a
format.
really good point. I was so blown away. And you know me. It's
fine, we can start with love.
Probably should have discussed this before we started recording.
I was so blown
Mike's so hot.
away with my love for this Transformer, which I still haven't even got out of the packaging.
Let's get in. Let's
Let's-
get straight into
Let's
it.
just
Okay,
switch. This
fine,
is
yeah.
loves. We're doing what we
Loves.
want. We're the
We're doing
hosts.
love.
We can do what we want.
Okay.
John's love is his Transformer that he bought today.
So, in a medium like podcasting, there's nothing like a live unboxing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to see if
It
I can.
really lends itself to
Oh.
unboxing.
Let's talk over the crinkling.
Oh,
I can confirm there is a Transformer in that blister pack that John is currently
While you're
struggling
doing it,
to
I'll
open.
describe
I need like I've like
All I've got,
scissors.
these
We've got some
zigzag.
pinking shears.
I've got these zigzag crinkle shears.
These might work. Okay, so I have Starscream, who was a Decepticon, so he was a baddie.
Oh,
boo!
no.
If you had to explain that to
He
your
looks.
parents.
He doesn't look like a baddie.
He's red and blue. I thought it was Optimus for a second.
No,
I haven't looked very
he
closely
is-
at him.
Here we go. I'm freeing him from his plastic.
I've been too preoccupied with my own toys.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
me too.
Crying out loud. It's almost like this wasn't made for children. There's so many bits.
I don't think it is made
Hang
for
on,
children.
hang
I
on.
just lifted his legs up. It's like he's changing a baby's nappy.
The fact
now.
of the matter is, toys are, to a certain extent, made for people our age now. You can like that or not, but it's a fact.
The thing is,
here
right,
we go.
is
Here
that
we go.
the original Transformers animated series isn't. There are various iterations of Transformers animated series on TV, but the original, I don't think, is actually on telly anymore. So these toys, who could they be for except
Yeah.
for those who grew up with it?
Entirely, yes.
That looks like it's going to be a plane.
Oh my god,
or
it's
a
got like
rocket.
foil wing. Oh,
That's
whoa.
cool.
Yeah.
Is that that's the cockpit of the plane?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's going to turn into a plane, John.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Well,
Do you know how to transform it?
I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah. Okay. So Starscream. Hello.
Oh God!
Is that your Starscream voice?
Hello.
Hello, I'm
no,
Starscream.
Starscream was the second in command of the Decepticons, and
Wasn't he like a super whiny minion?
He was incredibly whiny.
Yeah, I
and
remember
he
him.
was always like every week attempting to overthrow Megatron.
Classic
And for some
baddies.
reason, Megatron kept him alive and around. So yeah, he transformed into a plane, and over the course of this podcast, I'm going to be trying to do the same.
It's like our version of a Rubik's cube.
So I guess
Yeah.
if we
For a rube.
So I guess the question is, we will each present our. We could each present our kind of hauls.
Are we going to put some photos on the Facebook group and people can have a look at them
Yes,
as well?
great thinking,
then-
commercial manager. No
See,
community manager.
I don't follow the hashtag, but I know how to take a photograph.
Okay, so
So what are you suggesting? We just introduce our halls and then we get into the details?
Yeah, so when I'm thinking now, I've introduced Starscream, who's maybe 8 inches tall.
Yeah.
It's quite a good size.
More or less.
Maybe
I'm
6.
going to try and transform him.
Okay.
And then maybe while I'm doing that, somebody else could bring their love to the table.
Do you want to go, Chris?
I'll go, yeah. I bought 3 things. We decided we were all sort of different kind of buyers, didn't we, today?
Yeah.
I'm more probably pragmatic in that I sort of knew what I wanted.
You were a strategic buyer.
Yeah. I saw things that were on my list for cheaper than I have seen them anywhere else, and therefore I bought them.
Sort them out. John was like a sniper. He went in with one specific aim, which was to come away with a transformer.
Which
and
was
he
the aim we
succeeded.
talked him into.
I came away with a transformer and immense guilt for buying this thing.
So tell us, with your pragmatic buying
Yes,
plans.
well, I have bought things from my Amazon list, one of which is Bird Person.
Hey, it's Bird
For
Person!
Rick and Morty fans. I've got a nice action figure, an AF.
Another spoiler, isn't he dead?
He's now Phoenix Person.
Oh,
Hey. Spoilers.
Oh, the spoilers.
Spoilers.
Optimus Prime and Bird Person. But he's my favourite character from Rick and Morty.
He is hilarious.
Because he's very funny.
He's delightfully deadpan. That's a very good looking figure as well. Well done.
Cool figure, so I'm pleased with that.
Should be.
And I've got a sort of cartoony version of Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now, I like this figure because it's not trying to be like Yondu in the movie.
No.
He's got a very sculpted, cartoony sort of face.
I like it very much, and it says clearance on it.
Yeah.
So that was a win.
£7
£7
clearance.
clearance. So I'm not a huge Yondu fan as such, but I just thought it was a cool.
Does he
looking
come with his
figure.
arrow?
It's a good question. I
surely
can't see.
the-
I can't see beyond the
There's
clearance
a giant sticker. It takes up most of Yondu's body.
It's hard. It's hard to tell. I'll let you know at some point.
Surely
though.
the arrow itself is ultimately just.
Let me know by post.
That's a choking hazard
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
for children.
It could have been moulded into his hand, though. I suppose.
And then I raided the bargain bucket to make
did?
up my £20.
Damn
And I bought
straight.
a Star Wars.
You bought a Star Wars.
I bought a Star Wars. Let me finish.
Please tell me.
Figure, which is Ezra Bridger from Star Wars Rebels,
Right.
with a lightsaber,
Oh, one of those laser swords.
one of those laser swords, and a speeder.
that
which I'm
speeder
holding.
looks cool.
It's
Yeah.
a cool looking speeder, so I'm going to put that on the.
It looks a lot like the ones in Return of the Jedi.
Yes, it looks quite
in,
like
in
one
that
of those.
Forest of Endor bit.
So I think that'll end up on my little shelf full of action figures.
Will the character sit on the speeder, please?
Go on then. Yeah.
Oh, not me.
Oh, will it now?
I don't want to
Okay.
sit on the
Yeah,
speeder.
go on, yeah.
I'd smash it to bits.
I thought you meant on the shelf.
I just want to know that it can, because it'd be very disappointing.
I'm pretty
if it
sure.
couldn't.
There you go.
Oh no, there he is.
That goes on.
Do his little hands grab onto the
Let's
old
see if
handlebars?
his little hands go on. I think they do because that pulls
Oh,
backwards.
that handlebars move.
There you go.
There's an
Yes,
action.
yes. I'm not going to do it now because it'll take me forever. But
Okay.
yes, it does.
John's still transforming Starscream.
I do feel very much like an old man now. I remember.
I don't know how to do. Oh, you've got your instruction manual out.
I had to get the instruction manual.
Look at this.
I do remember as a kid that it always baffled me how my dad couldn't work out how Transformers worked.
You idiot, Dad.
And now I have a lot more sympathy. I'm sorry, Dad.
I never owned a Transformer as a kid. Not one.
you really?
I played with them at friends' houses, though, and I used to find them incredibly difficult to transform. Because I never knew. Because, like you say, you played with it every day.
I think I was probably always worried to break it when it
Yeah.
was someone else's. If
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
mine,
yeah.
or if someone had bought it for me, I'd be worried to break it.
see,
Whereas
right-
now I just go, whatever. Yeah.
You see, right now I am feeling a little kind of wary. I don't want to.
bust it.
Don't break
I
it,
feel
John.
like I'm going to bust it. I
Don't
don't want to
break it.
shatter my new toy.
Well, while John breaks his toy, what have you got there, Nick?
So,
I can see it on your hand.
My buying style was like, let's see how much garbage I can get for £20. It wasn't going to be. I didn't go into it with that, but unlike you guys, I didn't have something I specifically wanted. So what I'm wearing right now on my hand is an Iron Man gauntlet.
It's very nice.
Right, so it kind of looks like the handlebar of a bike, I guess you could say. Well,
Yeah, sort of.
kind of, with triggers on the hand.
Cool bike.
Yeah, and then I can press a button and it does this.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
confirm ironness
And it's like-
has just gone down your arm.
Yeah, it's like the wrist expands down my arm, almost to my elbow.
Yeah,
Not-
almost. Well,
almost, yeah,
sort of.
halfway.
Yeah,
because I'm not
maybe a
child.
child's elbow.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the armor has grown. It's so cool.
It is actually good. Very
Look at
good.
that.
I mean, as a Nerf enthusiast, it has got a couple of Nerf.
And then it also, up by my
bullets.
hand, it's also got like this little block which has got 2 little darts, and I can shoot them at John.
Ow!
There you go.
Oh,
See,
I felt that. Jesus.
and I can also shoot at Chris.
Oh!
There you go.
That hit me-
That's my 2
that hit
bullets
me
done.
right on the bone of my foot.
It is surprisingly painful, isn't it?
And then I can put my armor away, and I'm ready for a
But
day
I
at
think
work.
that would make a nice supplementary Nerf.
Yeah, I mean it's
You know.
And then like, if someone shoots
Weapon,
me, and then I
that's
can
it.
go like that, and the
Exactly,
shield
and
can come
go,
out.
aha!
Blocked.
So there you go.
Now I'm gonna get it off. There we go.
Do you ever worry that there are limited real world applications for your kind of Iron Man
No.
sheath?
I don't think anyone would worry about that.
Categorically, no.
No.
No, I mean, no.
You wear that to work. You can wear it with pants.
I wear it with
You
just
wear,
pants.
wear it with a skirt.
Yeah.
Could I hold it?
There you go. Yeah, please do.
Oh, thank you. No. So how do you?
So you put your hand in
Put
there.
your hand in there,
push
John.
Push
That's
your
it.
hand. Ow! Always pinching.
Push the big button.
If you push the big button,
Actually, no. I've got a.
oh, you've got a bracelet thing on.
I've got
Take that off.
God's
jewelry.
sake.
There it
Oh,
Look
doesn't
at
that make
that.
you?
Oh,
It's
actually,
good, Doesn't
that make you feel good?
That does feel good.
is. It's a bit like there's some dart. There's a dart. at your foot.
How would you fire?
So just plop a dart in the front there,
Okay, yeah.
and then you pull the other trigger, which is
Ow,
on
ow.
your index finger.
you
Sort of
go.
aim for the face there.
Wow, yeah. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool, huh?
As a kind of casual observer, I've generally been a little disappointed by some of the toys
I know, me too.
that accompany the Marvel movies.
But the idea of having like retractable growing armor, I think is a pretty cool idea for a toy.
Yeah, it's a
Anyway,
shame.
that's not all I bought.
Oh
So I also, you can't hear this.
no,
no,
No.
what-
I
It's
can't
a-
even hear that.
It's a plushie toy of a character from Yokai Watch, which is a game I'm playing on my DS.
Could you?
He was in the bargain bucket as well. He was £1.
just so the
Gotta love that bargain bucket.
just so the listener has a degree of context. Could you describe a bit more about Yokai?
So Yokai Watch is like it's like Pokemon. Let's be honest.
Oh.
It's like a monster collecting adventure game
Is-
on the DS.
is
It's
it
a lot like Pokemon?
Is it the Pokemon killer? Is it the thing which will topple Pokemon from its throne?
No, categorically no. But it is very, very good. It's all based on Japanese folklore. So Japanese believe in these sort of little spirity, fairy-like goblins called yokai who inhabit their world, and like everyone. So it's sort of like we believe in fairies and goblins. It's a similar sort of thing. So your socks go missing. Oh, it's probably a yokai that took them or whatever. And so this game is sort of like cutesified them into little characters. And this is a little. He's called a kappa. And that's actually a really famous yokai in Japanese folklore. They believe it's a myth that was created to stop children from playing in rivers and getting swept away.
Okay.
The idea is a kappa will come out of the water because they're mischievous and kind of evil, and they'll drag you into the water and you'll be lost. So so this is the sort of Yokai Watch version
How would you?
of a kappa.
How would you describe his basic appearance?
He's blue. He's got a big head that's kind of like a rugby ball, kind of like Stewie from Family Guy's head.
Okay, yeah. So, Hey Arnold.
Or Hey Arnold.
Hey
It's
Arnold,
very good
yeah.
reference.
He's got a really wide yellow beak in a smile. He looks quite friendly. He doesn't
I
look
wouldn't
like
have thought he was a
mean
bad guy.
He's not. Then none
I
of them
see.
are really in the game. So they've sort of
Just
turned them from
mischievous.
scary creatures in actual folklore to more like friendly creatures.
But what are
in
the
the game.
monsters you battle then? Are they not bad guys?
You do battle other ones, but they're not really bad guys. They're just sort of like they're sort of having a go, kind of getting a bit eggy, getting a bit in your face. So yeah,
It looks like it looks a bit like a Squirtle.
yeah, it does
A
actually.
little bit like a Squirtle.
And he's got a little bottle around his neck, which he has water in, I think.
In case he gets
Dry?
thirsty.
In case he dries out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something
Just
like
returning to a theme from a previous podcast, his belly button seems to have been stitched up,
that. Oh!
which is a bit weird.
Well, that's probably good for Ali. Anyway.
Ali will be delighted.
If he's a ghost turtle,
Well, yeah,
was-
'cause he's
was
got a
he-
shell on his back
Was
as well.
was he born? Would he have a belly button?
Good question,
Oh, I
John.
see.
That is
That's an
deep.
interesting point.
Interesting point about Kappa. They believe to have a little dinge in the top of their head. And you can see this guy's got something on his head.
Yeah.
It's meant to hold a puddle of river water. And he
Okay.
can stray as far as he wants from his home river. And he maintains his superhuman strength as long as he has this little puddle of water in his head.
Well, I think that is a puddle of water.
Indeed.
It's a slightly different blue, isn't it?
But if you can trick a Kappa and make him tip his water out, then he will become weak and powerless. And the way you do that is when you first meet a Kappa, you bow. And if he bows back, which he inevitably will do because they are honourable creatures, apparently,
Okay.
he'll tip all the water out of his little head and it'll be a weak, useless little Kappa and he won't be able to drag you into the sea or whatever it is he wants to do.
Okay, that's kind of delightful.
Yeah, that's not bad for something you fished out of the bargain bucket.
I also got some Pokemon cards. I'm going to open a booster pack now.
Fine. Yep.
I hope I get a shiny Charizard.
Now, Rayman, you were a cool young man. And
Thank you.
You never partook of the Pokemon card.
I do not know what Pokemon is about. Still, really, I don't really know.
That feels disingenuous. I think you probably know to some extent.
Okay, no, this would be funny. Give us your synopsis of what you think Pokemon is about. Go.
Man, the guy with the hat,
Bad start.
the main guy.
Yeah, okay, main guy.
What's his name?
Yep.
Just give him a name.
Yeah, tell us his name.
Josh.
Josh? Okay.
Josh, got a surname?
It's actually not that bad. It's quite close to the name.
Padstow.
Josh Padstow.
Josh Padstow.
And does he want to be the best?
He wants to be the best of the Pokemon
Oh, fine.
Oh, yeah,
By-
the Pokemon.
by talking to the animals like Dr. Dolittle.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, right. Yes.
And then if all the animals respond in kind, he is the Pokemon. And everyone else is like a Pokemon, which is not quite as good.
And he's like, you're the Pokemon.
You're the Pokemon,
And
Josh
everyone wants to be
Padstow.
Josh Padstow.
I feel like
No, I know, in all seriousness, though. I know it's something to do with chucking balls at creatures.
Got to catch
That's
up.
pretty much all I know.
That's pretty,
That's pretty much all I know.
That's pretty fair, yeah. Well, I used to partake of the Pokemon card. I didn't really play it massively. I definitely collected. I had a killer.
I had a deck.
I had a.
I had
a-
what he sounded like he really didn't. I did though. I did used to play the game. I loved it.
Officer Nicholas, come in. We want you to go deep undercover with the street kids.
I can do that.
Can you step to the lingo? We need to know.
Oh, I can. Yeah, I'm blast a poke with the top chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Blastoise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll use water type.
That sounds good.
I'm in.
Easy to talk for talk.
I've got a shiny.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got a shiny Riolu. These are all Pokemon I don't know.
Yeah, I feel the
He's one
world
of the
the world
good
moved
ones.
on while we were getting old.
Anyone who's listening, if you want a shiny Riolu, just get in touch.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. So when we got old,
Yes.
not old, they brought in more different Pokemon.
Oh, every couple
So
of
like,
years. Yeah.
every game that's released is referred to as the next generation,
Oh,
and more are added to the total count of Pokemon. So originally, the first game came out, Red and Blue.
Yeah.
There were two games that ran simultaneously. There was 150 Pokemon to catch total.
That's
that
too
was
many
it.
already.
Yes, it's a lot, but that was it.
But
now there's like 900
But a handful were only available in one game.
or t'other.
So you had to trade. You had to plug.
That seems like the greatest scam of all time.
I think that's exactly what it was, Chris.
Genius. People went crazy.
Oh, I've got another shiny, Luxray.
Oh,
Stage 2 Luxray.
My cousin Lux.
I've also got a purple energy, psychic energy, I believe that is.
that's yes.
That's handy, isn't
Yeah, that's good.
it?
I used to have a grass and fighting deck.
These are all just words you're saying now.
I had a holographic Nidoking.
So that's my haul. Pokemon cards, Yoko Watch plushie, and retractable Iron Man wank gauntlet.
Oh my. Okay, well, I guess now we've gone around the circle again. I've been playing around with my Starscream over here. You may have been hearing the clicks in the background.
Clicks and clacks. Did you get him into jet form? I missed that.
did. Closer inspection, I was maybe like slightly disappointed. I think
no.
I think I would need to continue exploring.
You think he can go more jet than you got him to go?
I feel that was the limit of his jetness.
Oh, right.
And I
a shame.
feel maybe by making him a bit more sculpted, a bit more kind of...
Oh, they've compromised on the jetness.
Yeah, so
Oh.
I'm starting to think back now to all those sweet, sweet robots I used to love who were kind of like very robotic, like 2 points of articulation.
Just
and,
like 7 blocks are connected to each
But
other.
it's like, but hot damn, their transformations were very slick. Which is not to say they weren't bad ones. So I'm going to keep experimenting with him. However, I've noticed a weird little thing, and I've not read the instructions, so I'm off I'm off the
first
reservation.
You're gonna
now, but
find interesting
He's
things,
got a
John.
flap on his chest.
his chest pops up,
Oh.
and his head flaps open,
Oh.
and
Oh my god.
there's
Look at that.
What's inside?
and now
Ah!
his groin has
Oh!
come up. There's another head in his groin,
What?
and I'm like, I think,
I think you've missed a trick here, John.
and I don't know.
This is the key to everything.
Oh, hello.
It's the Allspark cube.
Yeah, and now he's got a head coming out of his groin.
Oh, that
You
is
see, I'm gonna
Very unpleasant.
What has that got to do with anything?
I'm gonna look into that. I feel like I'm missing something important here,
Yeah, I'd say.
but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see what's going on.
Okay.
But that may be an experiment
For the
another
future.
day. So
Well, that was excellent.
So those are our loves of
Yeah.
this episode.
That's the
But I guess the question is, like, as we would normally judge, do you feel it's worthy of your love? Like, I feel I'm glad I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel I need to experiment a bit more with
I
Starscream here.
feel like it's worthy that you got that Transformer because it marks the beginning of a new era for John buying Tat.
Yeah, and it's funny because we're picking up the keys to our adult house.
thing is, there's more room in that house to put that stuff
That
in.
is true.
Just think, John, you can have a whole shelf with all of your favourite childhood Transformers.
That is true. I could go and reclaim them.
And just think, like, what the younger John would think looking to 30... How old are you, 31?
Yeah.
31-year-old John, and seeing that he still had Transformers in his new house that he owned.
He would say,
What have you done?
imagine going back and saying, "Hey, young John," with your microphone head.
Testing.
Hey. Hey.
Let's not make this about my head.
From the other side of the street. Hey.
Oi, you!
Oi!
Father, who's that?
Yeah.
Run, son.
Imagine saying, "You'll be married, you have your own house, and you'll have a shelf full of Transformers."
So
You're living the
imagine
dream,
that. So
John.
cast your mind back. There's a young John walking home from school, and across the road is a bearded man with a transformer.
Waving it, and you're still steaming from the time travel.
Yeah.
And your dad, Jeremy, who I've met, would go, "Don't look at him."
I would still be covered in the insulating time goo.
He'd be dripping on the opposite pavement.
Naked, heavily inebriated because
Quivering.
You don't want to go through sober.
God,
you
not-
don't want to step
not time
through the
travel.
portal sober.
No,
no.
you definitely not.
I've done it once, Jesus.
And I'm brandishing a plastic robot with a head in its groin.
Yeah.
Going,
You're going, look, I've still got the childhood magic.
You're gonna live the dream, young John.
Who's that, Daddy?
So, do you two want to cast any additional judgment on your Transformers? No, you don't have Transformers.
I don't have
your
a
toys,
Transformer.
Sorry.
Oh, whatever. Jesus, John, rub it in. I would say that my best purchase is my Iron Man.
No, I'm a
wrist
fan
guard.
of that.
That is outstanding. My Pokemon cards, I didn't know who any of them were.
Could
I
I
did
have-
get 2 shinies.
Could
though.
I have a look at your Pokemon
certainly
cards,
can.
please?
Oh,
This could be a
no.
giveaway. We could. These could be. We could auction them. There could be
Yeah,
prizes. To
they
our,
could all be
Well,
shit.
there
though.
will be a photo of these on the Facebook page, so, you know, if you're listening to this and you don't know what the hell's going on, just pop over there.
John?
I feel we may have overlooked the fact that one of your Pokemon cards is a knitted.
Yeah, one of the illustrations on one of the cards is a little knitted character. Oh, Raymond's
I already
happy
don't
about
like Pokemon.
that. Pokemon.
Snover.
Already, after 15 years of its existence.
I'm trying to get my.
I can't even remember how Pokemon card games work. I swear I used to know the rules
There's something to do with
for
mana. No, wait. that's not-
this.
Shall I do some people loves, or are we doing a vote?
No,
Or we let the people
Are you
vote?
happy with your?
I'm
buy?
very happy, thank you. Yes,
Good,
thank you
I'm
for
glad to
asking.
hear it.
okay. Well, no. Let's tell you what. Yeah, let's
get the love
if we
mail
got
in.
some community.
So there we go.
loves-
That was our toy
Thank you,
run.
sir. Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
We did.
Something
I've
a little
enjoyed
different.
it.
Something a little different.
So I have one from Andrew Galvin,
Andrew, friend of the show.
the Galvinator, who
Galvo.
says,
Love his
"I want
work.
to send out a love." I'm doing loves, by the way.
that's fine.
For the band Public Service Broadcasting.
Public service broadcast. Never
Public
heard
Broadcasting? I won't have your kids running wasting your money like that. They combine voice clips from old newsreels and put them into electronic music, and it's stunning.
of it. Oh, I think he's played some of this to me actually.
Their last album, Every Valley, told the story of a town whose mine gets closed down, emptying it of life overnight. When the Welsh choir comes in at the end, not a dry eye in the house. Wow. There you go. Sounds very
emotional
powerful.
stuff.
Oh, that bad.
Yeah. Well, I know nothing about that band.
But I might
I'm
now
gonna have
check
to
them
just
out.
put my
No,
faith
that
in
does
Mr.
actually
Galvin.
that sounded dangerously close to a legitimate recommendation and love, where we're like,
Maybe that's what this show will become.
Oh my
like
God.
a place to recommend things.
Recommend things that you may not have heard about.
oh, I like that, kind of like a homework kind of thing, like go away.
Because we do always struggle to find loves.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I mean we're hateful people.
Yeah, naturally, that's why we made a show
at our
called Hate.
core,
I
but,
feel it. I feel it's quite telling that this week we only have loves from people.
Maybe we don't.
and we are the only ones with hates.
Oh dear.
After 14 episodes.
At the same time, though, we have just spent like half an hour talking about toys,
And that's longer than we've ever spent on the loves before. in an
Yeah,
episode.
that's true.
So what does that tell you?
We've inverted it.
This is from Liz Thatcher.
Friend of the show.
That's a very pretty name.
Long time listener.
Who it's worth pointing out was on the National Express when she wrote this.
Okay.
Love the National Express.
Oh, she's
she's
so cool.
I think as far as public transport goes, they are by far the most reliable, and I even find using their service rather enjoyable. comfortable seats, plug sockets, their own onboard films, and TV shows, and super cheap to get into London. Did you get a job?
We're getting dangerously close to this being an advert.
Was she being held at gunpoint by the driver at this point?
Yes. Blink once for yes, twice for no.
Say plug sockets if you're...
Tell them about the value for money.
Yeah.
I've got to disagree.
I actually am about to say something. In April, I'm doing a return trip for £3,
Jesus.
including booking fee.
Wow.
I mean, I don't even need to go to London, but I'll do it for £3.
Oh, London. Oh.
I've got to admit that, like, price-wise, it's hard to beat.
It's hard to beat, yeah.
But I hate coaches so hard. They are uncomfortable and they smell really bad.
I hate that. Oh my god, we could do an entire series on the smell of coaches.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a disgusting body smell.
No, it's the smell
It's
of
this, like, hard, acidic,
bad fabric.
bitter...
cleaner,
Yeah.
What is it? That coach smell. It makes me want to be sick.
It's probably the stuff they clean the seats with, frankly, isn't it?
vile.
Because they're quite...
It must be like, they must have like an industrial... At the end of each trip, someone just walks down the aisle and sprays everything.
Yeah, I'd
It's
have
probably
thought
like,
so.
God.
It's probably like bulk Febreze or something like that.
Probably.
Next time I'm going to bury my nose in the fabrics and see if I can eke it out.
I had several years ago, Lucy and I had a very unpleasant journey on said bus company.
Oh, no.
Because it was the height of summer. We'd been to London.
Oh, yeah.
We were coming back. The air conditioning broke.
It always breaks.
It was very, very sweaty. And there was a child screaming the whole way home.
Jeez.
I don't mind the National Express. I get it quite a lot for football.
You do, yes, you do.
So I'm on it pretty much every other week, and I don't hate it.
Speaking of children crying,
No.
as I was walking home today,
You were.
very excited about the podcast and everything we were going to do. There was a mom walking back in the same direction with her two little children in tow, a little girl and a little boy. And the girl was in the good book, so she was kind of walking with the mom, and the little boy was following about 10 feet behind, screaming his head off. Like, was just like so unhappy. And he was at the age where his screaming was very articulate. So he was like, I hate you. Like, you know.
Anakin Skywalker
And talking
style.
about his sister going like, I hate Libby. I don't like her anymore. Even when I'm a grown-up, I won't like her anymore.
Yeah, you say it.
And because I was trying to like walk kind of like, I was trying to like overtake him. And the boy kept kind of like stopping and falling behind because he was having a scream, and then he'd run to catch up, and so his overall speed matched mine entirely. So I was just trying to like walk, and this kid kept like, I don't like her anymore. I wanted to, and it really spoke to me, and I wanted to kind of like just
choke him,
sit down next to him, and go, "Hey, bud. You think you've got problems?" Yeah, Jesus Christ. I mean, look at the world. You know, I've got to go home and buy a toy. You know,
That's it. You go sit down and just go, hey, it's going to be all right. Hey, got Transformers.
Hey, I don't know if you heard, but I'm getting a Transformer tonight.
I don't know if you... Why would he have heard?
it's like, oh, fair play, actually, yeah.
I'll stop crying.
Oh, you should have told him, and he would have just screamed for a Transformer. That would have been funny.
Yes, you could have exacerbated the situation.
I should have found a Transformer that was half the price, bought two of them, gone back and taken one of those Transformers to the boy, and then snapped it in half right in front of him.
Stamp on it.
You think you've got trouble, son?
I'll give you something to cry about. Spoiler alert, Optimus Prime is dead.
Yeah!
Well, look, I feel so positive. Who's got hate?
Yes.
Bring us down.
Hit us with your
Now,
head.
I've taken the liberty of emailing myself with some of these things that I'm going to talk about just now.
Oh my god!
So I'm
how
going to
many-
get
I
it in
also
front
have
of me.
cues on my phone.
Yeah.
For my hate as
So
well.
so my hate is set. I've written down three or four ways of saying what it is. Sayings, phrases, idioms, cliches that either don't make sense or are totally stupid.
Okay.
Right, okay.
So
do you have-
I'll give you some examples.
examples.
I'll
Yeah,
give you some
that's wonderful.
examples.
Yeah, please.
A problem shared is a problem halved. No, it's a problem doubled.
Like Spanish flu.
Yeah, it's like, hey John, I've got a problem, and here's how it affects you. I've given you a problem.
Yeah, hey
I've
John.
not halved my problem.
Hey.
I've got the same problem. I'm doubling it because now it's your problem.
Hey John, I've got a problem. I shat myself.
Oh.
Now I need
now
your
it's
help.
now it's your problem.
I was trying to picture him like, oh god, that's everyone's problem. Like, suddenly.
I have actually shat myself.
Well, I had food poisoning this week, so
Oh no!
I came dangerously close.
I think it is saying something that idioms ranked higher than the terrible case of a mud soup.
Yeah.
Give us another one.
Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. You'll be dead.
Yeah, space.
You'll be dead.
Is that the
Space-
full say? I've never
Yeah,
heard the
yeah.
second half of that saying.
If you float around in space, you'll be dead in seconds.
It's weird that phrase as
Yeah.
well, because you'd think that being among the stars would be better than being. What's on the moon? Why go
Also-
to the moon? There's
Also,
nothing there.
Why shoot for the moon?
You shoot
You
yourself.
don't shoot the moon.
You don't say like, oh, shoot for the end goal. You
Shoot
know,
for the co-op.
Yeah,
Shoot for the co-op.
yeah. Shoot for that report on my desk in the morning.
What are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm shooting down the club. I'm shooting for the club.
Oh no.
Don't say that,
Don't
because
say
then if
that,
something
yeah.
happens,
Yeah.
you'll be suspect number one.
Oh God, yeah.
You got any more?
I got loads more.
Oh, come on, wheel them out. Wheel them out.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
Yes.
That's
good.
bollocks. You
That's
can't make
really good.
lemonade out of just lemons.
Oh no, shit.
You would
that's true.
need sugar and probably some other stuff.
Yeah, and if you say if life gives you sugar, make lemonade, you're like,
What?
well, okay, that's
If life gives you sugar, make sugar.
Make sugar
Well,
water.
that doesn't make me feel any better.
No, all I've got is sugar out of it.
I don't want to drink lemon juice straight out of a glass. That would just make my depression far worse.
What about stitching time saves 9?
Yeah,
Stitch
don't know what that means.
It's just like if you. Oh, I think I.
Yeah,
finally
the
got
idea
it.
is that if you
Yeah.
catch the problem early,
Yes.
it won't get bigger.
Get it in. Do it now.
See, this is a better phrase already. Do a thing to stop damage now, otherwise the damage will get larger in time.
But that only works
Nailed it.
This guy.
if you're aware of it. It's
Yeah.
like, if you're walking to work and your trousers just fall apart, and someone goes, stitching time saves 9. I'm
It's
like,
him.
I didn't
If
know.
someone says that to you, it's him.
Hit him.
yeah, it's like, I didn't know we were going to structurally fail, did I?
No.
And then you shit yourself. It's like,
And then there's no
Oh.
barrier between your shit and the world.
I mean, the ones I'm reading now, I could have gone on and on and on, but I've got a select 11.
Okay.
ranked.
Not ranked, I'm just going to read them in no specific order.
Okay.
There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Ah,
Nonsense.
Is there?
Yeah.
see, we did that.
There is no such thing as a stupid question.
That was
It's
a
the
stupid
most ridiculous thing you can ever say. There are a lot of stupid questions. If you ask me a stupid question, you will,
Probably
Okay.
know it.
You'll
know it.
Okay, just playing devil's advocate.
Oh, God.
But surely any knowledge is good. Yeah, and so
What about when someone asks a question and they do already know the answer? They're just being very silly.
it's not really a question. I think it's a power play.
But it depends on context. If I'm in a maths class or I'm in school, if I stuck my hand up and said, "How do I kill a polar bear armed only with a biro?"
Okay, I need to know the answer to this.
I don't know. It's a stupid question.
That is a stupid question.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to find a facetious way to be difficult, and I can't. No,
That's unlike you.
Yeah, I know. Good God, he's like, you know me so well.
I'm sweating like a pig. Pigs don't sweat.
Is that a deliberately ironic phrase?
Dogs don't sweat.
Do pigs definitely not
Pigs
sweat?
don't sweat.
Is that a fact?
I looked it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
so pigs don't sweat.
Pigs don't sweat.
Oh, how do
Where
pigs
did
cool?
that? Did they?
Don't know. Well, they got tails and that, haven't they?
What tails and
They're
that?
not like the most. They're not the
But
waggiest.
that's probably yeah. I know.
It's a spiral.
No, I read that earlier. Pigs don't sweat.
Do you know that a duck's?
Please correct me if I'm
Do you
wrong.
know that a duck's penis is spiraled?
Yeah.
Oh my God, why?
For
Is it because they make good bottle openers?
Yeah.
That's probably why. See, that's a stupid question.
Are we going to go through all of them?
Yeah,
or is this-
3 more.
Yeah,
three.
yeah.
Well, okay, yeah.
I knew him since he was knee high to a grasshopper.
What does that mean?
What does that
Does
mean?
that mean you were a small?
That'd be on the news. A
Tiny
boy was
man.
born today who was knee high to a grasshopper.
Tiny man rides into town on back of grasshopper.
Also,
That's news.
Also, why grasshopper?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Why grasshopper?
Anything small would have sufficed.
Yes.
An ant is smaller than a grasshopper, but they didn't go that small.
Exactly. Why a grasshopper? Answers on a postcard. Up shit creek without a paddle. I don't want to be up shit creek with a paddle.
I think,
To be honest, I don't want to be up shit creek in any which way,
This
even
is-
in a speedboat.
Stay away from Shit Creek could be the phrase.
Yeah,
Don't-
stay away from shit
Don't
creek.
go to Shit Creek.
there is a
Kids who
certain,
go there never return.
There is a certain poetic quality to that one, at least. Like a little chortle going.
So
"Oh,
the
yes."
idea, that
Yeah.
you're already in a bad situation, and now you can't even steer yourself in that bad situation.
I don't want to go to shit creek.
You don't have to go
Okay, this is my last one
Okay,
for now.
well, thank God.
for now.
Dressed to the nines. Why
That's
not?
got to have a basis.
Why not the tens?
That's got to have
10
an
out of 10.
etymological basis.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. Dressed to the nines. What does it mean?
Dressed up to the nines.
Have you ever heard? I used to say it like in my old timey newsboy speak. 29 skidoo.
Yeah, 24 skidoo.
Was it 24 skidoo?
Probably from that era.
28 skidoo.
28 skidoo. Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I tried looking it up, and there's all these different theories about.
I remember because we spent an evening trying to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah,
and it's
like-
based on a building and an address.
It's maybe like one
something?
theory is that it was this address in New York, and the way the wind funneled down that particular street, it had a habit of blowing ladies' skirts up, which was very
So people always
scandalous, of
went
course.
there, didn't they?
So like young men would gather,
Of course they would.
and when they would go like, "Ooh,
Nah.
madam," and then when the police were like, "Hey, you," and chase after
Peeping
them,
Tom.
they would say, we got to do like the 24 skidoo, because it was like 24th
okay.
Street or something.
24 skidoo.
But then
See,
there was
that's interesting.
But there was
See?
another rumor that there was a big like baseball game that summer, like a big national baseball game, and it was something to do with like the score and the guy who'd won, and it was
Right.
like, oh, it's a 24 skidoo. Or I just like saying it in my old timey newspaper.
So I just looked up dressed to the nines.
Oh, yes.
It's an English idiom.
Idiom.
Meaning to perfection or to the highest degree, or to dress buoyantly in high class.
Mm.
The origin of the phrase is said to be Scots in origin.
Oh.
The earliest written example of the phrase is from the 1719 Epistle to Ramsay by the Scottish poet William Hamilton, which goes like this: "The bonny lines therein thou sent me, how to the nines they did content me."
But then where did he get it from?
Yes. Maybe it was like a place. Was there a place called like the
To the the nines was a place, and then people who went
there.
there were posh or lived there were posh.
Yeah.
and
I
so-
would accept that as an explanation.
That's Wikipedia's best offer.
Just saying.
You see what I mean, though? I'm as guilty of it as anybody saying all these sort of phrases.
What
I
is,
think, like, I think it's a like we're being unfair on them. But however, when you could say one of those things, I would say challenge yourself not to, because it's a cliche.
challenge yourself.
Hey, why not turn another page? Write something new. Add something to the world.
It's like business talk. It's that.
Think outside the envelope.
Blue sky
It's that
thinking.
same umbrella,
Synergy.
to coin a phrase.
Are there weird things which, like, your family says, and you kind of like carry them on into later life, and then you realise that the only people who say them are your...
Like my grandma's crammed.
Yeah, which I think is one of the best descriptions of constipation of it.
Oh, he's a bit crammed, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's probably things you say without realising.
Yeah.
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like my family,
Things.
because my family's got, of course, the Welsh connection, and there's like little things we kind of. It's like, say, if you're a kid and you fall and skin your knee and you're upset, and you're like, oh, it hurts so much, and you're crying. In my family, a family member would say like, "Arvor." Could say like much in the same way. It's like, oh, they're there, like it's going to be okay. But it's like, Arvor. It would be like, it's okay.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just a thing.
Maybe it's
to
Welsh.
say.
I don't know, but
Oh,
but
right.
I don't think it translates to anything obvious in Welsh. Maybe it's like it's just a noise or something.
Just a noise.
Just a noise.
thing,
Comforting noise.
Comforting Welsh noises. Welsh noises for a new generation. Is that good?
That was half Scouser.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I good? Am I good?
A little bit racist.
Little bit racist. The racist door is slightly ajar.
Let's close that door.
Let's move away.
And when one door closes,
Another
another
hate
one
opens.
Yes.
And then subsequently closes also.
idioms. I agree.
Thank you.
I agree.
I do agree.
They're
Wonderful.
cliched. They're cliched.
They're
Try to
cliched.
say something new. Make up a new idiom. That's your challenge for the week.
Yeah.
Yes, please come to us with your idioms.
Because it makes
Don't be an idiot.
It,
Make an idiot.
it makes
Yeah.
just as much sense as anything. It's
Also, we're using these ones that are hundreds of years old. Why aren't we starting any new ones?
that's my point.
Yeah.
Do one like about an iPod.
Let's do a round table now. Okay. Your colleague comes to you and says, "Oh, didn't have a great evening. Came home and the cat had been sick on the carpet, and I tripped and I hurt my knee, and I just felt terrible." And I might say, "Well, I mean, Berg's head east on a cold morning."
Yep. You could
You
say that.
could say that.
Yeah.
He'd look at you very puzzled.
He'd probably leave the room.
And then I just throw my arms wide and walk
Yeah.
backwards.
I'd be like,
What?
Mine would be, well, when one pine cone falls, so do some others.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah. Oh man.
Bury your feelings deep down where nobody will ever, ever find them.
Great
There you
stuff.
go.
Nailed that one.
No, that's why they're called your problems.
See, that's doubled his problems.
Yeah,
I know about it now. Now it's my
It's
problem.
a fictional problem, and
It's
we're
not
all
hard,
we're
but
all
he's doubled it.
shouldering it now.
Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand. Anyway, Nicholas, what's your hatred?
My hate's quite specific. I watched a video on
Oh, no.
YouTube.
Oh,
God,
no.
you're two terrible.
No.
buzzwords there.
So it turns out that there are these two famous mega church pastors,
Oh.
right, called Kenneth Copeland and Jesse Duplantis. That's the most American name
That's
I
a
think
good
I've
name.
ever heard.
I like
Jesse
that name.
Duplantis. So do you know what a mega church is?
Is it a big
It's
church?
pretty
yes.
self-explanatory. It's like a church that's so big that it's spread from its one building.
Well, that was going to be my question. By church, do you mean the physical building or the...
No, it's the
belief
following
or
of a celebrity pastor.
Oh, so it's not even like they have their own particular religion. It's more just like...
No, it'll be Christianity.
Yeah.
Or their own brand of Christianity.
Yeah.
It'll be they'll travel from city to city, and flocks, thousands of people will come to see them as they come. They're like pop stars or superstars, but they're religious ones, and they will faith heal, and they will preach. Preach to God, and they'll do this kind of stuff. Anyway, recently they both bought private jets worth £20 million.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And obviously, this got blown up in the news a little bit. It's like, you're meant to be men of God, and you've just bought yourself private jets. So they
Make sure 20 quid on a transformer look like small fry.
Yeah,
Didn't it?
yeah. They took to YouTube to defend the purchase of their private jets, right?
Wait, question.
Yeah,
question
go
you on
for it.
Are they, if not related, are they part of the same megachurch?
Well, I couldn't work this out, and I haven't done much research on the back of them, and I haven't found out that about. But no, I don't think so. I think they have their independent followings, but they are all of a sort of industry.
Are they buddies?
Yes, very much so.
So it wasn't a complete coincidence.
Oh, I don't think so. I very much think that one of them maybe bought a jet, and the other one was like, "Oh, yeah, I'll get a jet
I've been
too."
jealous and
Yeah,
had
yeah,
a
exactly. So this first one I think it's Kenneth Copeland starts talking, and he says that he was coming back from a really glorious meeting. He refers to it as, and he goes and he gets on a plane, and the Lord started talking to him.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, and the Lord said to him, "Do you like your plane?" That's what the Lord said. And he said, "Yeah, no, I like my plane." It's like, "Do you really like it though?" This is apparently a conversation he was having with the Lord. Anyway, it went on to the extent that the Lord accused him of assuming that a plane was the limit of his powers. And at which point he said he unbuckled his seatbelt and he stood up on the plane. Bear in mind it's flying over the ocean.
And this is private plane.
Private jet.
So
He put his hands in the air.
no one was around to see.
Well, this is the joke he makes. It's a funny joke here, because he puts his hands in the air and he goes, "Lord, Lord, what do you mean?" And he says at this point, the pilot turned around. I was like, "You right, sir?" And he's like, "Yes, I'm talking to the Lord." And the pilot went, "Oh, okay, I understand," and turned back. And they shared a chuckle about that, because of course, peasants don't know what it's like to speak to the Lord. And so then,
that was the whole joke.
that was the joke.
Oh, it's very good then.
And in that time, the plane banked uncontrollably for a few seconds. Whoa!
At which point Jesse interrupts and goes, "You couldn't do that on a normal airliner, could you?" And Kenneth goes, No, you could.
Why not?
Stand up,
Stand
and
up,
scream.
put your hands in the air and scream, basically, yeah.
even
And
talk to the Lord.
so then sort of Jesse takes over and he says, "This is so important. The world is in such a shape that we have to get there. It's in such a bad way that we have to get there. We have to get to these places and we have to do our really good work. And, the state the airlines are in at the moment, it's impossible to do that. There's all this pain, there's all this suffering in the world, and we can't rely on the airlines. We not only do we need to be able to talk to God whenever, but we also need to get to places faster than that the airline system can possibly allow us to. And that's why we need it. This is why we need these planes. He's appealing to the camera at this point. And then he goes on to tell a story about another pastor that he knew who used to fly on airlines. And he said he was super famous and he was bothered the entire time on all these flights because people were constantly coming up to him on the flights and disturbing him when he was between shows. They refer to it as shows. And he was very tired and he was just trying to keep some moment to himself. And he didn't even get a second to think and talk because all these people were asking for advice or faith healing or whatever. And he said, they're agitating him. They're messing him around. This is why he needed his own space, his own time. And I was thinking to myself, at this point, it would have been fair if you just said, "We're showmen, and we have a hectic schedule, and we just need a little bit of time to basically sleep." And maybe the hectic schedule thing is a fair enough argument. But the fact that it started with, "I need to be able to speak to the Lord," and then this guy finishes it by saying, because he's basically telling a story about this pastor who's being bothered by people on a plane, and he says, it's like being in a long tube with a bunch of demons.
Oh dear.
He actually said that.
Don't call people demons.
Or be flying commercial.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the very same people who are actually coming up to this guy, who are fans of his, worshipping at his feet, asking him for advice, and just a bunch of demons. And this is a video that's attempting to...
Could he not fly business class?
Yeah.
Could do.
But
John looks troubled.
So then he finishes his story by saying, I just wanted to lay out all these facts to you. I want to make it clear so the devil can't lie to you. So basically, everything else you've heard from the news, say,
Yes.
and other people who may be saying, I heard this disgusting priest had bought himself a £20 million jet. That's the devil lying to you. He's put the facts out in order. The reason he's done it is so that those demons in a tube can't come and talk to him.
That is the religious equivalent of going, look over there, and running away.
Yeah, it is.
But they'd already... It's not like he was appealing, and that's why I deserve a plane, and why you should get me one.
Where's he from? Yorkshire.
That's why I deserve a
It
plane.
started and then kind of like...
But like at another point in the conversation, he goes, "It's not just a jolly. If I wanted to fly, if I wanted to scratch my flying itch, this is how he puts it. If I wanted to scratch my flying itch, I just go down to the hangar where I store my open cockpit biplane, and I'd take it up for a spin and fly around." I was like, "That's not making your case any better."
have 2 planes.
Yeah, you essentially you have 2 planes, and you're telling me I can't hop into a biplane when I get a flying itch, dude.
But I'm guessing he bought the plane with his own money.
The money he acquired
Or was
through
it
his
church
parishioners.
money.
Well, it was church money that I think he takes a rather hefty salary of. They were dressed very well. 2 very white, very old men sat around a kitchen table with fake fruit in a bowl in the middle of it.
I'm just fascinated. I'm fascinated by that conversation with God on the plane.
I know,
Also,
yeah.
also the idea that like saying we need to talk to God and that's why we need a plane. It's like humanity,
Can't do that on an airliner.
Humanity historically has never been very good at making spaces where men can talk to God. I mean, like,
Thing is, my answer to him would be, why have you got a fucking great church then?
Yeah.
Can't you talk to God in there?
yeah, or
Also, don't they preach the idea that God sees all and hears all and listens to everything? Like, you don't need to be anywhere. You don't need to stand up on a plane and put your arms in the air.
unless it's the height, it's the proximity thing.
Gets you closer to God.
Yes.
You are closer to God up there.
And he can fly higher than anyone.
Technically, you're closer to the International Space Station as well. I don't mean you can talk to it.
That's where God lives.
The International... Oh, of course,
Yeah,
yes.
that's where it's
Oh, I
from.
remember.
Him and Chris Hadfield. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, this
your
guy.
boy.
Both of us.
But also, what was God saying to him? Like, do you not like your
It was a
plane,
very
or-
incoherent conversation, but it was basically saying, do you like your plane? And he said, yes. Do you really like your plane? Yes, I do.
Yeah, I quite like
And he's
it.
like, do you think that that's the limit of what I can do for you? I think he was trying to angle that. He was trying to make a point to us, us peasants, that
demons.
a $20 million plane, that's nothing for God.
Is he suggesting that
It's not a big deal, guys.
The plane
Oh,
was a
God's
gift
probably got
from God?
20
Yes.
mil hanging around.
Does that make it tax deductible? Like,
What's the tax on a $20 million plane?
Yes, and
You don't have to
I
whip
didn't
yourself
pay
every
for
day.
it was given to me.
It was
by,
given to him by God through the medium of like ripping people off, taking their money, and giving it to yourself. Yes.
If I got a message from God, like I'm just chilling out, it's like, oh man, it's like I've got my transformer. It's like, oh man, I love my transformer, and then
God calls
the
up.
God phone. Like, hey John, hey God, how
Do you like
doing?
your transformer, John?
I do like my transformer actually,
Do you really like it, John?
and that's when I'm like, yes.
Where's this going?
You know, see, I at that point
Sowing the seeds of doubt.
the conversation has already turned sour. Even if God hung up at that point, he's like, just checking.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's like really passive aggressive.
But then you'd frantically search for like an upgrade model
Yeah.
of that
It's like,
transformer.
I need to get a better
no, or
transformer.
I'd be like, what have you done to it?
Yeah.
That's
He goes on to say something about how in life you can flatline, and how God is sort of inferring to him in this conversation that he's not striving or aiming for anything more. He's not going faster or putting any more of his own energy in because he's reached what he considers to be an almost impossible height of having a private jet.
Oh, sure.
But if anything, this as he talks more, all he's doing is just reinforcing how big a deal he thinks it is that he's got his own £20 million jet.
Now, I hear your arguments, but I don't think you understand how much.
This is
He did
so
sound-
Yorkshire. This.
That's not Yorkshire.
That
come on.
was
He
Yorkshire.
did
no.
sound exactly like that.
It was a bit. I was going for Foghorn.
Hello, son.
Foghorn Lake.
I don't think you understand.
I say,
I
boy.
say, Ashley.
Take care, lambs on road.
Oh no!
God, oh, no!
Oh god! It's a sign.
Oh my God! It's the Lord. It's the Lord. He's raining down upon us.
It's not a joke when I say that Rayman was just hit on the head by a sign saying "Merry Christmas."
Although he doesn't say that anymore because some of the
says
letters
Merry-
have fallen off.
This is Merry Christmas! Explanation mark. Do you like your Christmas sign?
Do you really like your
yeah,
sign?
I do.
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
That could be a sign, or it could be that I was leaning back on my chair and knocked into the shelf.
But that's a
We'll
sign.
never
God's
know.
One or the
moving
other.
through your chair.
I quite like the idea of passive-aggressive God. I quite like that.
So yeah, that's my hate. Rich, white, elderly pastors. And that's
Cool.
not pasta meal, but pasta men. The
Not
pasta-
Josh Padstow from Pokemon.
No, not him either. Easy mistake to make.
But he doesn't want to be the very best.
He wants to be the best Pokemon.
That there ever was.
Well, shall I share my hate?
Go
I
on,
feel we're
then.
back on familiar territory now after going off the track. My hate is tiny houses.
Oh yeah, you were talking about this
I
the
know.
other day.
Okay, and I'm just gonna with a caveat. Lucy and I once caught a few episodes of a show, and it may have been called something as on the nose as Tiny Homes or something like that. Now, full disclosure, I actually think it's really cool if people can make homes in small spaces.
Sure.
I actually think it's really cool if people can live efficiently. I don't generally like waste. I like kind of like if you can kind of keep it lean. That's
Yeah.
cool. You know, have what you need.
Like a
Don't-
private
don't-
jet. for
Don't buy
example.
Transformers. Yeah, like, but this was it was an American show, and the point of it was people with normal houses,
Sure.
and by American standards, they were normal, but generally bigger than UK houses because they
yes.
just got a bit more space.
Oh,
So it's like,
sure.
so people with normal houses going, I'm sick of the rat race, man.
Yeah.
Like, I wanna,
Yeah, man.
Take
I
that.
want to. I'm
society.
unplugging. I'm getting off the grid, and I'm gonna live in a tiny house,
Okay.
right? And we're like, okay, cool. So they had a carpenter on the show, like a special builder, and all you had to do was provide a trailer, like a flatbed trailer.
I see. Yes.
And he would build like a custom caravan, like a glorified caravan, for lack of a better word, on the back of the.
Would that not cost more than just sort of staying where you are?
Well, entirely, yes, because they have a nice house. Like when I think about like housing is so people struggle to get.
Yeah, there are
houses.
homeless people.
Yeah, people are struggling to get houses, and then there's people with actual houses going, "No, screw it all, man. I'm gonna like
Can it all in.
like having things is the root of all evil, and I'm just gonna disconnect." But it's not even like I'm like, fine, you want to disconnect, great. Like seriously, do it. Go, don't film it. Don't make it into a TV show. They weren't getting back to their roots. They weren't unplugging, reconnecting. They were actually spending so much more money on having a custom. Really,
I bet it had electricity.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's the thing. I'm like, no, this is nonsense. It's bullshit. Even you want that life? Go buy a caravan.
Yeah.
You can get a caravan. You really want a simple life? Go get like a 200 quid caravan. You
Buy
can
a
get-
tent.
Yeah, buy a tent.
By a yurt.
So we saw
Yeah.
3 episodes. One was like it was a guy. This is the one which made me the least angry. He was single. He worked as like a ski instructor,
Okay, so it's just him.
and he lived most of his time on the mountain.
Fine.
So he was like, I'm going to live in this caravan, and then I'm just going to move it around the mountain to wherever I am. Like my Land Rover will just kind of drag it.
Okay, I feel neutral about that one.
And he was like, I'm just going to set up shop here. And I was like, fine, that doesn't make me angry.
No.
But he did break his foot like a week after the house was finished. And then, so when
Ah.
they go and revisit them, seeing like, they've been in the house 6 months, and we're going to see how they're doing. And he was like hobbling around on a big cast in this tiny. I was like, I'm seeing a problem here. But then at the same time, he was like, I love cigars, so there absolutely must be a humidor in my
Oh, sure.
to store my cigars. So he had a big glass cabinet in his little wooden house, which was like had climate control to store his.
So I can see this is the beginning of it. It's like these ridiculous high tier demands.
Yeah.
When they're meant to be paring their lives back.
So then the second one was they were a newly married couple, and they were very like in their late 20s. You know, he was called like Chuck or something. She was called like I don't know,
Eloise.
Desiree, or something like that. And they were all American couple, getting married in like a few weeks. They'd never lived together. Like, it was very kind of proper. And then, rather than getting a place, I think there was a house like waiting for them. They could have just moved into this big house. They were like, no, we're gonna live in a space probably if not smaller than this room, the size of this room. It's not big, and everything's going to be in there. It's going to be super condensed. And they'd never lived with anyone other than their families ever. Call. And then suddenly we're going to be living on top of each other, basically, like the whole time. And she was like, I have 84 pairs of shoes, and I cannot bear to part with a single one.
This is... Like, you've got to make... The whole point of this is sacrifice.
Yeah.
This is like the fundamental central core of this whole idea is sacrifice.
I know, I don't...
And they're not doing.
That's the thing, I'm wording it badly, but I don't want it to come across that I'm against people wanting to live a simple life.
No.
But that's the thing, you can't have it both ways.
But these people don't want to live a simple life. They want to be seen to be living a simple life.
They want to be on telly.
Okay, so the one that absolutely infuriated me, and I was spitting feathers, little idiom there. I was so angry.
What
does that mean?
It was a young,
make a new one.
A youngish couple.
Make a new idiom.
Okay, I was painting the elm trees yellow. I was so
God, blimey, you were that angry?
Yeah.
God.
Oh my God.
So angry you made up a retarded idiom.
Now remember, John, I always say, bury your feelings deep down. So deep that nobody will ever find them.
It's times like this I look for the folksy wisdom of this Ray. Bury it. Just
bury it.
Keep it deep down.
Yeah, anyway, so young couple, young working professionals, had a house, had like 3 children.
Stupid.
Probably the
That's
oldest,
child abuse. I'd call childline.
Call them now.
probably aged like, I don't know, 4, 6 and 8. Okay, so, you know,
Terrible
dilly
age.
kids.
This is ridiculous.
And they're like, we want our children to live a more down-to-earth life and everything. I'm like, okay, great, so you're going to go live on a farm or something? You're going to take up farming?
Yeah.
Do some farming, maybe?
Maybe
It's like, no.
farm.
They're like, we're gonna have this custom wooden caravan thing made, and our children are gonna live with us, and all 5 of us are gonna live in a place the size of a dining table.
Madness.
And already I'm going like, your children are going to double in size every year for the rest of their lives, and you'll be crushed by the weight of their burgeoning bodies. And I'm like, no, it's fine. So bear in mind, like they're like there was like a ledge, so they put the beds above head level, if that makes sense. So you climb up a little ladder, and then you're in an attic which was like a foot high. So you kind of like, you shuffled in, and there's like a mattress, and then you lie. And
that's your bedroom.
And that's your bedroom. And the children are like, this is so exciting, Mommy and Daddy. We're having the time of our lives.
What about when, like, 18-year-old Steve brings a girl back?
That's the thing, yeah. You know, and
I can't get fresh.
And also, like, you know, around the time that Steve was 12, his dad fell in the crack between the cooker and the cupboard and hasn't left. You know, he's just been, like, pressed in.
He's just stayed in there.
And then...
He works from home now.
And also, like, the guy who's building this thing is like, you know, of course, so space is very important. So we have these little tricks we do when we build these mini houses. So obviously you'll have a shower.
Oh, no.
And she goes, no, and the mom goes, no, I want a bath.
Jesus.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, he's like, no, you don't understand. It's like water's going to be, you're not going to have a lot of water, you know, and also space, you know, standing
Space.
up.
Remember
takes
space?
up less space. She's like, oh, but
Remember the whole reason you're doing this?
I really want a bath. And he's like, okay. So, and in the end, what they had to do is they had to get like an old wine barrel, cut it in half. So they made like...
What, so she could sit cross-legged in
so
it?
you're kind of like...
That sounds awful.
You're like hunched in, like egg
She hasn't really got a bath, has she?
No.
She's got a wok.
But they go, when they went back and revisited them, they were like, oh, it's wonderful. It's so magical and simple. And like, and where are you staying, right? Like where are you? Where have you moved?
Where's the caravan?
And the caravan is in their aunt's orchard.
What?
Like, that one of their aunts just has an orchard, and she's like, yeah, you know, you can just park your little vanity projects in our orchard. And there's like a big cable running up the back of their thing into their house.
Oh, yeah.
Again, like water and electricity. I'm like, well, and the probably showering in her house as well.
Yeah, because
They will, but yeah, of course they will be.
And they come back like after a few weeks, and the kids are so excited. Oh, it's just like a great big holiday. You know, I almost don't want to go home. And the two parents kind of look at each other like, oh god, you know, they think they're going home.
Credits.
And it's like, you know, oh, this is amazing. But I'm like,
that will be fun for another 20 minutes.
like I swear your children look taller already. Like
I've
think
watched them
I think
grow.
the doubling has begun already. And also, they said at the start their children are allergic to everything under the sun and have to be washed twice daily in linseed oil, or they'll just burst into flames. Like it was.
They're allergic to barrel resin.
Yeah.
But we need a bath.
They're allergic to small spaces.
Allergic to timber. So that just made me angry, and that made me furious. And it wasn't the I want a simpler life and I want to live small. It was
no, that would
I want to
really
be on telly.
annoy me.
I want to spend millions making a tiny little.
It is literally nothing to do with trying to simplify your life or like shrink down your impact or whatever it is that people do genuinely do it for.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with that.
No.
Thing is, if you genuinely want to do that, you won't tell anyone about it, or
Just get on
you
with it.
certainly won't tell a television producer about
no.
it.
But no, and also like people. Are
Loads of people do it.
Yeah, and people are so desperate for houses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just be thankful that you've got a house. You know, people would shoot. You know, there's people living, not to be crass, but there's people living in boxes, actual cardboard boxes. Ask them. Say, oh, I'm so jealous of them. Look at them. They're living.
What a
living
compact
in
lifestyle.
They're living in a tiny house, and they're probably like, well, can I have your old house?
Yeah.
I'll swap you. Go away.
Yeah. Go on, Ed.
You can make a TV series about it. I don't care. I just give me a
Your
house.
money where your stupidity is.
Yeah. So that annoyed me.
Yeah. That's annoying.
So clearly the answer is have big houses and fill them with transformers.
That's the answer.
That is the answer to all of life's problems.
Well, Starscream's second head is still
Protruding.
very
down
odd.
his groin. I cannot work out what to do with that.
You'll figure it out, John.
Maybe it's part of a larger, greater transformer.
Oh, that was always the kicker. That was
Oh
always the
yeah,
kicker,
you might be right.
So you get a magical
Alright.
transformer, bring it home, and it turns into a foot, and you're like, oh no,
The worst body part.
oh no, there's a problem here. Well, should we discuss what do we think won out? Is it love or is it hate?
It's got to be love, hasn't
I
it?
think it might be love because
We
I'm
actually have-
literally looking at my toys.
We have physical representations of love this time.
Well, of the loves, which
Wow.
one, who did best on their shopping run?
I do like
I
the
think we
iron,
both-
the
we
iron
both-
fist.
I think we all know. Oh my god, look at it! It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Nick has just sheathed his arm in metal. Here.
Yeah, there's no getting through this.
Nick's scattergun approach to toy purchase has paid dividends.
Oh, goodness, it has.
Yeah, that is kind of amazing actually. And those projectiles hit with a force that is unpleasant. So
Yeah, potent.
bravo,
Yeah.
bravo, sir. I think.
I can't get my hand out there.
Oh, it's pinched.
Oh, I've lost a finger. Oh,
It's
well.
too small for my hand, like it was made for a child.
I will keep this for at least another day.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Before doing what?
as
Chucking it out.
Donating.
I mean, as we kind of hinted at in the previous episode, the clutter is building up to an almost oppressive level in the house at the moment.
Yes.
And, but what's one more thing?
What, 3?
3 more things. What's that? Well, you know, it's great.
Depends if you count the card as one thing as well. Technically, there's quite a few cards
Yeah,
there.
there's a
I've
lot,
got like
there's
a
lot of
decent
Pokemon cards.
10 cards in there.
But truthfully, if anyone listening would like some Pokemon cards,
I've got a Cherubi, a Glameow, a Snover, a Hippopotas, a Shinx, a Riolu, a
Hippopotas.
Luxray, Mount Coronet, a Rotom, and an unidentified fossil.
I think that's.
I only understood the
that's
last one of those.
That's my activation phrase. Lust,
Yeah.
crush, capitalism. Well, I'm overjoyed,
Yes, so am I. I'm very happy.
and I feel much,
yeah, okay.
and I feel much healthier coming
Whatever.
out of the episode than I did coming in.
You're
don't
past
know.
your food hangover.
I thought, yeah. How are you guys doing? 'Cause you
I feel
must be
quite bloated.
I'm feeling a bit
Loaded.
weighed down by all the potatoes and fish I've got
I
in
was
me.
going to say you must be mostly grease at the
Oh,
moment.
I think
yeah.
I'm sweating it out at the moment.
Just got to go impale myself on a clay tree.
I just smell like a chippy.
I feel a lot better after that.
The
Myself.
man at the chippy was nice though.
He was a
He was
nice
lovely.
guy.
So that was a bonus.
He engaged us
Yeah.
in conversation about newspaper wrapping of
Yeah.
chess.
Oh yes, we spoke to him about newspapering, didn't we? I bet he remembers that.
I bet he has
conversation.
already forgotten that.
That'll keep him warm
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
We were like, "Do you remember the days?" And he was like, "I think they stopped doing that in the 1800s." We're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, he was,
sorry."
he was quite matter of fact about the whole thing.
He was very like we were kind of like riffing, and he was just like, "No, they stopped that
No,
ages
it's
ago."
ridiculous.
That's
I'm not
really-
sure he understood our unique brand of humour.
That is to say, not funny people.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Oh well, we you know.
It was that.
that was-
What are
yeah.
you talking about?
We were
None of your
just,
fucking business.
we were just having a little, we just having a little laugh like bugs do about newspaper, newspaper wrapping around fish and chips. Like, yeah, we don't do that anymore.
They haven't done that since the 1800s.
It's like, yeah, but it's like.
Would it be fun? I bet you get ink poisoning though, wouldn't you? No, I don't think so.
No,
I just stopped doing it.
No,
Then he asked us which of his competitors we go to.
Yeah.
yeah, we had to answer very carefully at that point.
Well, I told the truth. I said, I don't want to come to your chippy. Now give me my fish and I'll be on my way.
But then he proceeded to sell to us why his chippy was so great, because it's a car park.
Yes, that's
He's
good,
next to a bookies and a post office.
Yes,
He's across from Quick Fit.
Yeah.
Just down the road from a trampoline play area.
Yeah.
where I shattered my spine.
Yes, you did.
Still recovering from.
Oh, man, look.
That was like.
Let's go trampolining. Oh, it's over.
That was over a year ago, and we were like, "Oh, there's a new trampoline park has come to town. Let's go try it out. It'll be delightful."
Was it for Lucy's birthday?
Yeah, and we were like, "I can't wait to recapture my youth."
I think we all came away shattered and
Yeah,
through.
I swear, like I bounced on the first trampoline. Go, this is delightful. Then just went, "Oh no!" Something
Just concertinaed away.
I landed just on a trampoline. It wasn't even a bad landing, and a shockwave went up my spine and stopped halfway in my back. It just went crunch. I was like, "Oh no! Oh no!" to the point where I had to sit down beside a trampoline, and the attendees were like, "Are you all right, sir?" "I'm fine." I just,
Have you got a walking
oh
stick?
god,
We had like an hour-long session, and I think you sat out for like 35
40
minutes.
minutes of it. I'm so glad I got my money's worth out of this journey.
It's shooting into my arms.
Let's go to a physio.
I feel like I've been injected with lightning.
I was having a mother puma giving birth in my spine. Oh, it was so painful.
Oh, dear.
I remember how painful it looked for you.
I finally got over
While
it.
I was enjoying it.
Well, I was having a great time. And I did also hurt myself.
I swear it took me the better part of a year to recover from that. Like it was, and I to the point where I am now scared of a trampoline. I would not want
we
to,
won't be going back.
No.
No, we're done. We thought we'd recapture our youth. Instead, we captured our age.
So tiring as well. Like even if you push
yeah.
through the pain,
Just
like,
jumping up and down on stuff. Why is that so tiring?
2 bounces. Like
I had my inhaler with me, luckily.
yeah.
Tell you what, though, you'd have been all right if you had this.
Yes!
Yeah.
I actually recoiled.
Yeah. But this didn't recoil.
No.
This coiled off.
Iron Man said.
Wait.
Uncoiled?
Uncoiled?
Which is what I'll be doing later. With those 2 back sausages. Oh.
Oh, my.
Well, should we call it?
I think we're probably going to wind it up, aren't we?
I think we should call it a day.
Thanks for listening, friends.
Loved one. Thank you, guys. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Remember to count the colours in your bedroom.
Oh, plane your door sideways, but only on an adverse Tuesday.
Cool.
Look beyond the sunset to the following day's sunset.
Buy a furry suit.